New Caledonia, part of France, lot of riots going on there. Why New Caledonia wants independence? It became part of French territory. And why it is a French territory? They discovered nickel there. Now, nickel is some important discovery, and today also world's 35% of nickel are there in New Caledonia. Let us decide. You people decide whether you want to be part of France or you want to become an independent country. Burning police vehicles, some 6 people were killed, and also a lot of industries were all burned. The road to the airport was totally closed. More than 35% reserves are there, and it is the 3rd largest producer in the world. Hi everyone, I am Jebasingh, the director of Officers IAS Academy. New Caledonia, part of France, lot of riots going on there. French President Emmanuel Macron has flown there 24 hours in flight. Why he took 24 hours to reach his own territory? And why there are riots? In fact, they want independence. Why New Caledonia wants independence? So, all such things let us declutter in this video. Now, New Caledonia actually is not in Europe, but it is a French territory. It is somewhere in southwest Pacific Ocean. So, if you see the map, from Australia, eastern side of Australia and northern side of New Zealand, there will be an island that is called New Caledonia. How it became part of French territory and why it is a French territory? See, if you see, almost 13 such overseas French territories are there even today. They are not in Europe. For example, the popular French Guyana, which we all think because a lot of satellites, rockets gets launched there in French Guyana. But actually it is not there in the Europe. It is there in South America. It will be somewhere in Venezuela, that area. Venezuela, Colombia, that area only. So it is also part of France. It's a French territory. Now this New Caledonia also became a French territory. How? Somewhere in 1774, James Cook, British explorer. So he was trying to explore unknown lands. So when he was going in his ship, he found a new place, very beautiful, looking like Scotland. So he named it as New Caledonia. Now why New Caledonia for Scotland? Because Roman Empire in Latin, they used to call this Scotland as Caledonia. So he found that, boss, this is also looking very beautiful like Scotland. So let us name it as New Caledonia. That's how the name came. Now these people, there were indigenous populations, mostly Kanaks they called. So they were actually once upon a time practicing cannibalism, means man-eaters. Now it was there across the world in different parts. Even our Andaman and Nicobar Islands once upon a time was called as the capital of cannibalism. Cannibalism empire. This is what many explorers have named once upon a time. Like that. So somewhere in 1849, there was a ship called Cutter which passed through that area. There, these people, the indigenous people, they say the crew of those ships were eaten by the local indigenous people. 1853, they say Napoleon III, he ordered to capture New Caledonia and take it as part of French territory. So from 1853, it became a French territory. 1864, they formally declared it as a penal colony. Now, what is penal colony? If someone in France, they are dissidents, means they are communists those days, they are considered as criminals. So they were all deported to this New Caledonia. So it was called as a penal island. If you remember, Bahadur Shah Zafar II, our last Mughal emperor, after that 1857 revolt, he was also deported. He was sent to Rangoon. Like that, our Andaman and Nicobar Islands, if you see, many during the freedom struggle, they were deported to Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So similar fashion, 1864, France used this New Caledonia for people to exile people from the mainland. So it was like a criminal colony initially. Now, not exactly criminals, because even those who are fighting against, means they were fighting for democracy, they were also called as criminals those days. Somewhere they went and settled there. Now, another parallel one important thing happened. They discovered nickel there. Now, nickel is some important discovery, and today also world's 35% of nickel are there in New Caledonia. Because of last 2 to 3 weeks protests world over today, nickel prices have gone up because nickel is used in this EV battery. Nickel is so good, it can retain the battery life for long. Now, so 1864 nickel was discovered there. Now, the indigenous people were left out of this, lot of industries were coming up there because of this nickel discovery. However, indigenous people were left out. So, indigenous people started protesting. 1878, that was major protest against the occupiers, means whoever came and settled against the settlers. Again, 1917, there was one more major protest. So, protests were frequently happening because indigenous people, especially the Kannaks, they thought, why someone coming from outside taking over our resources. Finally, in 1946, after World War II, the France formally took over as part of it. Whoever residing in, whether the local indigenous people or settlers, they were all given French citizenship. So, from 1946, it's a formally French, it is a part of France. Now, problems again started in 1976. The indigenous people were protesting. Again, 1988, they took over many people as hostages, the local policemen and all. So, to solve this hostage crisis, France deployed its army and lot of atrocities happened. They say indigenous people were killed and all. Finally, at one point of time, because of the continuous protests, 1998, France finally came to an accord that is called as Naumea Accord. What is this Naumea? That is the capital of New Caledonia. Now, what they told is, okay, let us decide. You people decide whether you want to be part of France or you want to become an independent country. But, however, let us take 20 years. In this 20 years time, let us peacefully give more powers for the local government. So, that was decided in 1998. So, that was called Naumea Accord. 20 years will get over in 2018. So, 2018 there will be a referendum. So, according to that accord, people can decide in that referendum. Totally 3 referendums can be conducted where people can vote whether they want to stay with France or they want independence. And who will be the people who are voting in that referendum? Whoever was there in 1998, those people only. After that, whoever comes and settles, then the voter list will change. Many French settlers will come and settle, and later they may say we want to stay with France. So that way, that accord restricted the voters to whoever people who were there in 1998. However, till that point also, there were a lot of French settlers also there. So the indigenous people, approximately 39-40% population only, the local Kannaks. So outsiders are there. So finally, in 2018, they held a referendum. In that referendum, 56% people told, no, we want to stay with France. So again, revolts and all started. Finally, they told, there are 2 more referendums. So the pro-independence people waited for the second referendum. Second referendum was held in 2020. And there, of course, the margin reduced. 56% instead of 56% of the first one, here 53% people told, no, we want to stay with France. Now 47% people told, we want independence. So then they told, third referendum is there, the margin is coming down. But one important thing happened, COVID. So the indigenous people were telling, no, COVID time, this, that, but referendum was held in 2021. There, more than 90% told, we want to stay with France. So the locals were so irritated with that referendum. Anyway, 3 referendums are over. So why problem in 2021? Why 24 problem? Problem happened because few weeks before, the French parliament, the parliamentarians, they amended the constitution. What they told, in New Caledonia, hereafter for provincial assembly election, people can vote, whoever have settled there for more than 10 years can vote. All are there. It is not democracy if they cannot vote for their provincial assemblies, not the referendum, because referendum got over. Now, these people told, no, how they can, just last 10 years they are there, how can they vote? So, this ultimately we want independence. So, this way the protest started. In fact, the French President Emmanuel Macron, he hasn't signed that, it hasn't become a law, but Parliament has passed. Once he signs, it will become a law. Then, but he is told till June I will wait, I will hold talks and all. So, meanwhile, last 2 to 3 weeks, the reason for this riots is because of that law. Because of that, whatever bill passed by the members of the parliament, it hasn't become a law till now because French president hasn't signed. Now, so what they started burning police vehicles. Some 6 people were killed, and also lot of industries were all burned. The road to the airport was totally closed. So that is the reason lot of Australian tourists, New Zealand tourists, they were all there. Suddenly, because it's a very beautiful place, suddenly now airport closed, lot of riots. So finally Australian government recently, now 1 or 2 days before, they moved their military planes and started rescuing their citizens who are stranded there as tourists. Same the case of New Zealand. New Zealand also a lot of tourists. Why New Zealand and Australia people going there? It's very near to them. So they have all gone as tourists, wonderful place, but now they are all caught there. Yes, they have also started evacuating through military planes. Means New Zealand has also started evacuating. Now, so French president has reached there. Now normalcy more or less restored because a lot of military people are there. So again, it is not a permanent solution, this normalcy, because people of this New Caledonia, they say, no, we will fight till we get independence. Means the pro-independence people, we will fight till we get independence. Meanwhile, this New Caledonia is a very, very important territory for France. Why? Because of its location. See, it is in Pacific Ocean. Now China, US and all want to dominate Pacific Ocean. So France already has a territory. So they don't want to leave that. Another important thing is nickel. See, electric vehicle is the future, they say, and more than 35% reserves are there, and it is the 3rd largest producer in the world. So economic reason also, France wants to retain its territory. According to you, what do you feel? Whether they should get independence or they should stay with France, because staying with France also has its own benefits also. Whatever, you can leave it in the comment, and in case if you have doubts, please leave it in the comment, I will clarify. Let's declutter some other issue in my next video. Thank you for watching.